You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome to the show, guys. Glad you are here. New listeners to the show, welcome to the show as well. Welcome to the family, man. I hope you continue to listen every week. So welcome. But today, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about a deal that Netflix actually made with Dark Horse Comics and what that means. We're going to talk about my probably most anticipated game so far up to this point this summer, and it is going to be Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. We're going to talk about Game of fucking Thrones a little bit. I'm not going to spoil anything, guys, for you who haven't seen it, but yeah, man. Anyway, going to talk a little bit about One Punch Man and a little MK11 for you guys, man. That's going to sum up the show today, guys. Not a lot really going on out here in these video game streets, anime streets, you could say as well. There's been a couple things here and there. You know, the creators of Naruto actually, launched the manga. Basically, I think it's called Samurai 8. I'm kind of interested in that, man. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on that first chapter. A lot of people love it. A lot of people don't. And, most people say that it's really a lot going on, in that first volume. So it's kind of hard to follow. I guess that's the word that's the word right now on the street when it comes to that. But I'm going to find it for myself. I'm very interested in that because I love the Naruto series, Naruto Shippuden. Now, Boruto, that's a whole nother discussion. I actually don't hate Boruto. It just started kind of slow, and of course you had to introduce new characters and things of that nature. And they didn't write Boruto to be. They didn't write it to be Naruto. I mean, I think a lot of Naruto fans got caught up in that. They expected it to be, some sort of, I don't know, part two to the Shippuden series or whatever, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? It was different times that they were living in. It was a lot of things not going on that was going on in the past, and they wrote that story accordingly. Now it is starting to pick up a little bit of steam, now. But if you had to ask the average, fan of the series, they will tell you that Boruto is not very high on their list. You know what I mean? And even me personally, I haven't been keeping up with Boruto as of late. I mean, I started, strong early on, but then there was just so many things going on and it didn't entice me like, Naruto or Shippuden did. So, I mean, I'm just being honest. I will eventually go back and get caught up because now that I have Hulu, I can go back and watch, hopefully get some of these dubs, out of the way, which talking about dubs real quick. Actually enjoying My Hero Academia over again. I didn't catch season 3. I watched the first 2 seasons and that were subbed. And then when I got Hulu, I said, you know what, I'm going to start from ground zero and catch all the way back up and do the dub thing. So I'm really enjoying My Hero Academia the second time over. And I'm working my way back up to season 3, man. That's kind of what I'm doing. But anyway, I don't even know how I got to this point, but man, this Samurai 8 though, it's a different take. It's more of a sci-fi take on the series, from the creator's mind, I guess. And I'm interested. I really am, because one thing about Boruto that I did enjoy was a lot of the technology being used to go alongside not just to go alongside the ninja, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like a nice little mix, you know what I mean? and I kind of enjoyed that part of it. So I'm anxious to see how this is going to play out and what happens in chapter 2. You know what people are saying or whatever. But really, it boils down to this: if you like it, that's all that matters. 100 people could hate something, and you could be that one or two people, who actually enjoy what it is that you're, doing, reading, watching, whatever. And that's all that really matters in the end. There are plenty of scenarios and situations, in gaming, in anime, not just that, in everything, in all facets of life, where it might not be the most popular thing. And that's perfectly okay. We live in a world now in the sense that it's almost like you're looking for somebody else to approve it before you feel you can enjoy it yourself. If you understand what I'm saying. If you pick up a book or pick up an anime and you're enjoying yourself, and then you hear a lot of people, spewing hate about it for whatever reason, I see people tend to take that and say, well, I'm going to stop watching it, or it maybe wasn't as good as I thought it was. You're not supposed to let that type of stuff get into your head. I mean, me personally, that's one thing I will never let anybody influence me on, because, I like what I like. And, isn't that what life is really about? Just enjoying things that you like, that you enjoy. You know what I mean? I'm sure I have, anime, and I'm sure that there's things that I enjoy watching or reading or whatever I'm doing, that there's, a lot of people that don't, enjoy it. And I might be in the minority, as somebody who is enjoying some sort of, anime. And, it is what it is. I have friends that I talk to all the time, and I recommend them certain anime, from time to time. And we do it to each other. We trade, things we've been watching or we've been reading or whatever. And you in your mind think, because you like it and you enjoyed it so much, that, oh, he's going to love this or she's going to love that. And then when they, you talk to them again, you find out like, hey, did you enjoy this? Did you like this? And they tell you, when they hit you with that, that's basically saying, no, I didn't enjoy it like you did, or it didn't hit me like, it hit you. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by that. And, it's kind of like a medium, I mean, I recommended Goblin Slayer to a friend of mine. He loved it. I loved it. And then I recommended, Demon Slayer to him, and he didn't feel, is crazy about Demon Slayer as, I did. And in my mind, I thought that if he loved Goblin Slayer, he's going to love Demon Slayer. And he did not. And he said it's growing on him now. He watched the first episode or whatever, but still, you just never can tell what other people are actually going to, feel. Same thing with me, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It didn't hit me like, it hits some of my other friends, you know what I mean, who actually really, really enjoy that series. And that's fine. And that's okay. Same thing with One Piece. I mean, One Piece is so fucking long, though. Everybody's saying like, look, get past this certain section here and then everything's going to be A1. So I'm trying to fight through that, slowly but surely. But, when I get time. But that's a series that would take a fucking lifetime. I will never, over 1,000 episodes. Come on, man. How you binging that? You know what I mean? Man, I'm doing the 720 was, enough for me with Naruto and Shippuden. But I mean, it is what it is, man. Maybe I'll get back to it. Maybe I won't. It's just so many things out here. Demon Slayer came out of left field. I remember when Goblin Slayer came out, that came out of left field. One Punch Man is back now, and I'm actually enjoying fucking One Punch Man like a motherfucker. I really am. Gonna brush on that a little bit later. But yeah, man, I just wanted to, I guess, talk a little bit about that, man. It was in the air, you know what I mean? I smelled it cooking, so I said, might as well just talk a little bit about what was going down in that kitchen, and that I'm referring to, what I just spoke about. So hope I wasn't too preachy with you guys, and hopefully you understand and you get where I'm coming from. And I'm sure you do. I know I don't have dumb listeners, so I'm sure that you guys know what I'm talking about, and probably have, been in that scenario yourself a time or two. So it is what it is, But anyway, let's talk a little bit about Netflix, man. What's going on with these guys here? Got a little whisper in the streets, a little, whisper in the wind that, man, they've just signed a nice little deal with Dark Horse Comics. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because if you guys don't know, one of the Dark Horse comic characters under the umbrella right now, since about, I want to say 2004, 2003, something like that, is Berserk. Yes, Berserk, however you want to pronounce it. Yes, and that is what a lot of people are talking about right now, man, in the streets. You know what I mean? I mean, I've whispered it. I've talked about it briefly before on past podcasts. And, you know, when producers and directors and things of that nature start to discuss things like that in their Twitter accounts, and, you know, the ball starts to roll a little bit, man, you start wondering, you know, especially in the age that we live in now, man, we live in the now age. So, I mean, when people do that, when people get on their Twitter accounts and, you know, YouTube, and they start spewing certain things related to certain subjects, you kind of, you know, get a sense of, oh shit, I think I know what's going down here. And, you know, you put two and two together and bang, I think they're working on something. They're letting them know, hey, we want to do this. And then the other company's letting them know on their account, like, I like what I'm hearing. And then, you know, get that middleman working in there, man. And there you have it. Now, there's a lot of different characters under the Dark Horse label. So, I mean, you know, they could be doing a lot of different things. I mean, that's the cool thing about, you know, what's going on now with the anime and stuff. You know, there's a lot of the anime that's coming out now that is pretty fucking good, you know. Like the Castlevania series, I really enjoyed. I mean, that was new. And they also got some Devil May Cry shit in the works, man. Actually, the producer slash director, if you will, of Castlevania is a guy by the name of Adi Shankar. And he's the dude. He looks really emo. He wears makeup, like, you know, eyeliner and shit like that. He looks pretty dope. You know, he looks pretty cool. Like he could be a rock star or some shit like that. But you look at him, you could tell, oh yeah, you're into anime, you're into games, you're into, you know, in that no culture type shit. You know, that's your life. You can kind of tell he's about that life. And, you know, I dig that about him, I guess. But he's, you know, he's the guy who basically had, you know, a lot to do with the Castlevania series and everything. So he's the one that was talking about, you know, he would love to get his hands on the Berserk license. And so, you know, we're going to see where this takes us, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully they get that done. I mean, the writing's on the wall. Everybody's been talking about Berserk and wanting to see, you know, a continuation past the Golden Age arc, which, you know, I would definitely love to see. Maybe the Black Swordsman arc, start there, and then, you know, go ahead and skip the Golden Age arc and then get, you know, to where we are now. Because they've done the Golden Age arc over and over again. So it's been done numerous times, and now I think we need to, you know, get to the next chapter, man. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, but I think that's where we should go with Berserk. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm very, very excited for just the deal they made with Dark Horse in general, man, because I'm sure there's a lot of dope things that could be possibly made, you know, off of that deal. You know, there's a lot of dope things going on. Netflix is doing some things. Hulu's doing some things, man. You know, I really enjoyed the Baki series. Can't wait for season 2 on that. So there's been a lot of dope things going on, man, introducing us to anime. And I'm so happy that now in the West, we have that, you know, we have that awareness now. And people are now noticing that, yo, look, you know, anime is very, very popular in the West now. I mean, there's a lot of fans. It's making a lot of money. You've seen, you know, what Dragon Ball has done. You've seen what Naruto and One Piece are doing. You know, those guys right there. I mean, so it's a cash cow out here. You know what I mean? And then that just opens up the door for other anime that we've been getting, and, you know, we continue to get. You know what I mean? It's very popular now. And then now everybody has a voice. So there is fans of everything. You know what I mean? Even the most minute, you know, anime or manga series out there right now, there is a fan base for that's one thing I do love. Now you have the power to show your love for, you know, what you love. You know what I mean? And I really dig that. I really dig that. So, you know, it's no more, you know, I like this series or I like that, and, you know, I don't give a fuck what anybody, you know, else says about this. This is, yeah, not too many people fuck with this, but I do. And, you know, there's fan pages, there's discussions, there's all kind of things going on surrounding that, you know, that property. You know what I mean? So that's cool, man. I really like that. But yeah, good news, man, for me. Good news for Devil May Cry fans. I'm sure I'd love to see what that's going to look like and how that's going to pan out. And then also, definitely Berserk, man. I'm a big Berserk fan. Love fucking Guts to death. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can't wait to see what that's going to generate. But yeah, you know what I want to talk about real quick, man. I want to talk about Game of Thrones real quick, man. God damn it. I was at a friend's house yesterday watching it, and this is the second to the last episode 5, season 8. And god damn, man, it's crazy. It is crazy. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. I just wanted to bring it up real quick, guys, because it really had me. I was really upset last night, man. I was pissed off. The way that they led up to, the final episode. I don't know how long the final episode is going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be, longer than an hour, because this episode 5 was an hour and 22 minutes. And then prior to that, I think 2 or 3 episodes behind that, I watched one that was over an hour and a half. So, that's movie time. So this last one I'm assuming it's at least going to go an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours tops for this final episode, man. And I cannot fucking wait to see my boy Johnny Snow act a damn ass in these streets. But yeah, man, I've loved Jon Snow from day fucking one. I remember watching season 1 and just, I'm always going for that, not necessarily the top dog or, that guy that's under, the radar, the underdog type character. You know what I mean? If I just like you, I just like you. You know what I mean? And I just took a shine to him, man. And there were so many dope characters, in that universe, in that world, but I just gravitated to John, man. Johnny. I call him Johnny Snow. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my boy, man. And, to watch what has transpired over the course of all this time, man, it's just amazing. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen Game of Thrones, but if you haven't seen Game of Thrones yet, what are you fucking doing? That's a series you need to put on your bucket list of things to watch before you walk into that white light. I'm telling you, man, you got to check it out. My girlfriend has not seen it. I can't believe it either. Yeah, I know. But I'm kind of envious of her because she hasn't seen it yet, so she doesn't know what the fuck is going on. But God knows when she starts that show, I'm going to come home every day and I'm going to walk in that room and it's just going to be nothing but GOT on that fucking screen. I know it is. So she's in for a fucking treat. And you guys who haven't seen it, you're in for a treat, man. This is one that you have to watch. You just have to. So good. It's definitely going in the collection when they release the whole, all the seasons and everything like that. I got to have it. You know what I mean? I'm already looking around for some Jon Snow merchandise, baby. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm thinking about doing the Jon Snow t-shirt. You know what I mean? That's just, I love him, man. I just love that character. Anyway, yeah, man, just check out Game of Thrones, guys. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you have, it's all over the media, man. Twitter, it's all over the place. But yeah, so just check it out. If you haven't seen it, please do so. If you have, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't even have to say anything to you guys. As soon as I said Game of Thrones, you already fucking knew, what I was talking about, where I was getting at, man. For real. So, let me get off of that. Let me put that subject on the table and just walk away. All right, guys. I'm going to talk about One Punch Man now real quick. Yeah, One Punch Man, the episode I just got through finishing was excellent as fuck. I don't like the fact that they, air it every Tuesday. I really would like to see it, on the weekends, kind of like how most anime tend to do, which is on Saturdays. Demon Slayer is on Saturdays. So, I mean, it's kind of like mixed me up a little bit. But I am enjoying myself with the show, man. This guy, Metal Bat, this S-rank guy named Metal Bat, man, I'm really, really digging this character. I really like him. He's starting to become one of my favorite characters in the season 2, straight up. Yeah, man, he's just very interesting. He's just an interesting character, man. And, I love Genos. I love me some Genos. But when I saw this guy, get into his fight and do his thing or whatever with that Metal Bat of his, I'm digging his character, man. He's S-rank for a reason, He's definitely S-rank for a reason. I'm not gonna get into the show, to the episode, but I'm just gonna say check it out, watch it. I'm gonna just say this: One Punch Man season 2 is better than I expected it to be. And that's because I let all the naysayers and all of the so-called critics, spew a lot of boo-boo in these streets, and some of it seeped into my head a little bit. I'm not going to lie. And that's the kind of thing I don't like. I don't like being spoiled by, criticism on certain things that I haven't seen that I plan to see or do or watch or whatever. And I think that got to me a little bit when they started talking about the animation and people were putting out videos on, how bad the trailer looked and all of that. And, I went in before I watched it, going in already pre-exposed to everything I've heard. So I'm kind of biased in a sense going in before I started to watch it. And I'm glad that, I let my my own instincts take over and just, you can't lie to yourself. That is basically what I'm trying to say. And it was pleasing. In a way, it was kind of a good thing, I guess, because, the masses kind of downplayed it a little bit. And, my expectations were definitely different, man. So I'm really enjoying it right now. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to just say, check it out. Give it a chance. If you loved season 1, then you're going to like season 2. I really feel that. And the way that it's popping off, I mean, it's nonstop, pretty much action. It jumped off and it hasn't stopped since. There's all kinds of things going on right now. And, as it should be, man. I mean, they took so long to get us season 2. I mean, goddamn, we deserve what we're getting right now. I'm really enjoying myself. So, that's just my opinion now. A lot of you guys out there listening may not like it like me. We had this discussion earlier and you're entitled to your own opinion. But I'm just saying, from my personal opinion, I am fucking enjoying myself with season 2. And I'll leave it at that. I want to talk a little bit about Mortal Kombat real quick. Mortal Kombat 11, guys, where am I at? What the fuck have I been doing? Yeah, man, I can't decide on who I want to play as. I haven't even went online yet, guys, because I'm just so particular on learning the things that I'm learning. And to be honest with you guys, that grind is fucking real. I'm spending all my time fucking grinding, man. I'm just keeping it real on costumes, on, everything now. I pretty much got Sub-Zero all the way done. I mean, there's 5 stages. I'm on his 5th stage right now. So each stage you go to, you basically have to, you start from 0 again, and you have to do a whole bunch of prerequisites to, get the items and get the things that you're wanting. The cool thing is, though, man, I've got like 7 brutalities so far for Sub-Zero, and there's more. Because when you look at the brutalities that's available per each character, it'll have a number and a slash. And if it doesn't have another number, so if it says 4/7, then you know that there's only 7 brutalities. But there's a number, which is 7, and then there's a slash, and then besides the slash is question marks. So it's like there's more. We don't even know how many brutalities he has right now. Now rumor has it that there's like 10 brutalities, man, per character, man. I mean, some may have a little more, some may have a little less, but I mean, 7 already? Fuck. I mean, and I assume that they do that as well, because some of them are meant for certain, things that you have equipped to that character. You know what I mean? Because there's certain moves that will only trigger that brutality, and you're not able to basically equip all of them at one time. So that's cool as well. So no matter what build you have or what build you use, you're able to have a nice amount of brutalities, that at your disposal. You know what I mean? So I'm really good at, a lot of Sub-Zero's fatalities now, brutalities, I'm sorry. And I'm enjoying that. But then my son came over this past weekend, man, and we started playing, and, I'm not going to lie to you, man, my Sub-Zero was getting handled. He was being handled accordingly out here in these MK streets, and I didn't have anywhere to turn, man. My back was against the wall, and I was getting worried. My forehead got wet. I was nervous, and I was like, man, let me pick up my favorite character out of the series, which is Scorpion. And I got a dope looking Scorpion too, and I haven't even got halfway through with his unlocks. So I got plenty of more brutalities for Scorpion to unlock and things of that. So that's my next mission. But man, I put Scorpion back in my hand, and man, I was acting an ass. I was flagrant out here in these streets, and to the point where I reversed it. I reversed the everything that I was going through. All of a sudden, I saw perspiration dripping from his forehead, and then I saw, I looked at his shirt and I saw that, your arms, under your arms, it became a little damp, and he's began to become fidgety, and he got nervous, and I was putting in work. Scorpion was just, he had no answers, is what I'm trying to say. He had no answers, and yeah, man. What else could I say? I had him on the ropes, and I was like, man, where have you been all my life, Scorpion? I don't know, man. I just didn't feel like I was playing to my full potential with Scorpion at one point, so I got away from him. But then once I started getting used to the controls of the game, and, these are things that, just came to me, just for hours and hours of playing the game. Then, I kind of applied that same recipe to, his character, and just changed, his moves changed a little bit. But then I don't know, I think that's what's happening right now. But that is my boy. But yeah, man, the two mains that I'm using are, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Those are the two guys that I'm using the most, and those are the two guys that I'll probably be taking online, the most. Now I do dabble a little bit with raiding a little bit here, and I do enjoy a couple other characters out here. I'm starting to really appreciate Sonya Blade a lot. So there's a couple characters out there that could get some bench work and come off the bench for me. But right now, man, yeah, as it stands, man, I gotta get back on my Scorpion. You know what I mean? But that's where I'm at on Mortal Kombat 11, guys. Still grinding. It is a grind fest. One thing I do want to ask myself, and I want to ask you guys, maybe you guys know the answer to this. I don't know. But if you remember the fucking trailer for the game, before the game even came out, the one with 21 Savage rapping in the background and all that shit, the skin that I have not been able to find is Scorpion's classic skin. That is the skin I want the most. Now his mask is there, which I don't have yet. He's wearing, but his classic skin, his actual outfit from Mortal Kombat, I want to say it's from Mortal Kombat 3. I love that fucking outfit, but he actually wears it in the preview. If you don't believe me, or if you can't remember what it looks like, Google that trailer and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's just straight black and yellow. And, I think that's going to be like a future skin, a future download, because it's in the game already. So I think they're going to use that for like a classic skin or some shit like that, I'm thinking. But I need that skin in my life, guys. I really need that skin in my life. So, I mean, for the most part, that's where I'm at right now, guys. I'm saying I'm keeping my ass out of the crypt because it's very depressing right now, because I'm opening these chests, man. I'm getting straight garbage pretty much every time. So I'll just keep my ass in the towers for the most part, and I'll go there, and I'll keep it like that. But yeah, man, that's where I'm at on Mortal Kombat 11 right now, guys. I will definitely be going out and testing my shit online this weekend. So there'll be plenty of videos coming up, starting to surface, after this upcoming weekend, man, going down for sure. Yeah, that's how it's going. Also, I want to brush up on a little something that kind of piqued my interest, man. It's kind of nerdy. It is nerdy, but I'm really kind of intrigued by it. You know what I mean? I've been watching a lot of videos on it. I've been watching people do it. And, I told you guys, I'm kind of I'm a collector of some sort, small collector. I've got my small anime collection. And, I do have a small line of Marvel Legends, and that's going to get ready to get bigger here in a minute. They got just so many awesome figures, man, coming out, man. Like, fuck. And the market for some of these are crazy too, depending on what it is or who the character is. It's crazy right now. But what really got me interested is I was watching a video. I can't remember who the guy was, but there's a lot of customizers out here. You know what I mean? And I'm on Instagram and stuff a lot, so I'm scrolling down these pages. I'm like, man, that's not how that Punisher came out the box. He didn't come out the box looking like that. And I'm like, okay, then I put two and two together. I'm like, oh, somebody fucking somebody ghetto rigged this motherfucker better. Somebody just, turned it into their own awesome version, and I was like, yo, that is so dope. So I started looking into videos on how to do that, what tools are needed and things like that, because, I really think I would enjoy, getting into that, man, as a hobby, taking some of the figures that I have now, and maybe they might be missing something to me or maybe not. But, when you read comic books, sometimes, you see certain characters that you adore, you like, and you find like, okay, like for instance, as Black Panther, I was scrolling through the other night and he had a suit on, but at the same time he had a fucking black trench coat on. He had like a harness on with like I don't know if it were gas grenades or whatever, and he looked like he was dressing up to get into some gangster shit. And I was like, man, why don't they like make this version or whatever? And then boom, the light flashed in my head, and I was like, yo, what if I could do this? I could take this Black Panther and I could do something with it, and I could customize it to my liking. And then I started Googling this shit. And then I found out that there's a whole new fucking world of customization. Like there's a whole world of that. Like there's places you can fucking go just to buy, shit for, Marvel Legends or whatever line that you're collecting, like guns and fucking, beams and stands and backgrounds and all of these crazy things, man. Jackets, hoods, capes and shit like that. I was like, yo, it's a whole fucking world, and it's a money market. I went to fucking eBay, man, and I saw like 2 fucking guns, just 2 black plastic little guns for Marvel Legends, and they were selling that shit for like $10. And motherfuckers were buying it. People were watching it. People were bidding on some of these things. I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on out here in these fucking streets? But yo, I was actually pretty stout, you know what I'm saying? Pretty hyped for that shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man, I'm kind of leaning in that direction, man. Kind of wanting to, may start out just doing a couple things here and there for the guys that I have, for the figures that I have or whatever, that might need a little something. And then, there's other ones out there that, I've been meaning to purchase that are on my to-buy list, man, because, I'm a big X-Men fan. I'm also, of course, not necessarily a big Avengers fan, but, I'm a big Captain America fan. But there's so many Avengers. They're I love Black Panther. I love, a lot of these characters, Nightcrawler, man, but there's a lot of these guys coming out. I love the Thing from the Fantastic Four, and I want to start, putting more of these guys on the table. I just bought, Beast not too long ago, which is one of my favorite X-Men characters, man, and they killed it with that figure, man. If you don't believe me, go to fucking, Instagram, or go to just Google Beast, man. And it's off of that 90s run that they had in the X-Men, man. And one of my favorite runs, art style, all of that, dope. Same thing with Cable. Cable's another one of my favorite characters. Love me some fucking Cable. I was like, yo, I'm really not really a big Deadpool fan. I mean, I appreciate him as a character. I enjoy the movies and things of that nature, but he's not, I know there's a lot of Deadpool fans out here, man. No disrespect to you guys. I know you love him, but, the Cable's my dude. But I'm going to have to get a Deadpool because, to go with Cable, because they had, they had X Factor, and, they had some dope shit going on, man. I'm going to try to get into that a little bit, man. I'm interested. I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued by that. So I'm going to see what is out there, and I'm going to see what I can do, man. Looks like a couple X-Acto knives and, some fabric, maybe some super glue, and maybe some little light paint, out here, I might be able to get into something, you know what I mean? See what I can do. Now, I'm not a sculptor, but, as far as customizing other things, and adding things, I can definitely get into some of that, you know what I mean? Removing certain arms and certain legs and things of that nature, I could definitely see myself doing some of that. So yeah, and there's companies out here these independent people who actually do them. Like if you want a certain head for a certain body, you're like, yo, I really wish this character had this head for this outfit. You can actually go, and motherfuckers will make it for you and send it to you, charge you whatever they charge you, and boom, there you have it. Customizable shit, man. Just like, Sam Wilson. Sam Wilson is the next Captain America, who's going to, he's got a book out. He's been out for a while. Very interested in his character too, see where he takes the mantle of Captain America. But there's, a figure of his that was out, that was released, and it didn't, for whatever reason, come with his wings. And there's an actual company, I forgot the fucking name, but they actually, you can actually buy, pre-made, the wings. You can buy them painted, or you can buy them unpainted, where you can paint it yourself. And you just basically, it's a kit. You put it together, and and boom, there's his wings. That shit fucked me up, man. I was like, wow, that's fucking dope. 3D printing, man, that's the future. You know what I mean? I'm very intrigued. I'm interested, guys. And I just wanted to share that with you guys, man. Some nerd shit, some nerd culture. You know what I mean? Some of you guys may even be doing some of that yourself here and there or whatever, Holler at me. Let me know. Hit me up on Twitter, man. And hit me on Instagram. Give me some pics. You know what I mean? Maybe maybe you guys might be able to help me out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just thought it was something cool to share. So I did. Last but not least, guys, we are going to jump on a game that I'm looking forward to playing so much, not just because I love, Marvel, but because my son is into Marvel, and, he's going to be out for the summer pretty soon. And, he's only 6, but, shit, I'm let to tell you guys real quick on a side tangent, man. We played the fuck out of Marvel versus Capcom 3. This weekend also we had some fun, man. We were playing and he was pretty good, man. Not gonna lie. But yeah, we had a ball playing that, man. I forgot how dope that game was. Glad I have it. Wish I had two, but yeah, we were playing that. But anyway, the game I'm anticipating, right now in the summer is, I think it's July 19th is its release date, is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, man. Yeah, I have played both games, actually own both games on the PSP, and I'm really interested in playing this next one. I really, for the Nintendo Switch, it's exclusive for the Nintendo Switch, so it's not coming out anywhere else. And I don't know anything about a timed exclusive, because if it was, we would know that, but nobody has said anything about it being a timed exclusive. But I'm glad I have a Switch, because I'm going to be playing it, and I'm going to be enjoying myself. And I wanted to talk about this just for a hot minute, guys. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it. What I wanted to talk about was that the roster. That's one big thing. But a couple other things that, they seem to be adding to this version is that it's basically going to be, a take on, it's going to be a take on the Infinity Stones. Not the same story we're all accustomed to that's going on right now in the MCU, but their own version, which is things I love about, video games as opposed to movies and stuff like that, where they take a story or they take the characters from a said story and they write their own to it. You know what I mean? And the fact that Team Ninja is working on this game also gets me pretty excited, because I think they're going to do some good things with this game, as far as how the animations are, and how the powers are used and the things of that nature. Now there are a couple gripes, and I'm saying these now. I'm going to bring these out because the game hasn't come out yet. Maybe these are things that they chose not to show us yet until the final product is out. But there are a couple things that I'm still going to buy the game. Don't get it twisted. I love Marvel and I love that franchise, so I am going to be buying it no matter what. I'm still going to enjoy myself, but there are a couple gripes, and one of them is being that the ability meter, the abilities that you have, you only have 4. Now I was thinking that maybe you might have up to 8. You know what I mean? Because I think in the previous games, man, you had more than that. Now maybe you have more and you can only equip 4 at a time. I think that's what they mean by that. I hope that's what they mean, because you can only equip but 4 on the prior game. So you might unlock, 10 of them, you know what I mean? But you can only have 4 equipped at all times. So you just pick, cherry pick your favorite ones and you go from there. And that's cool, I guess, I mean, you pick your 4 best, and maybe it's a build that you want to, go into, and you might need this build for this scenario or whatever. It's just more fun, play that build or that build. Now, this game is just, to keep it real, it's basically a Marvel beat 'em up. I mean, for the most part, it's something that, like I said, my 6-year-old could jump in and play and enjoy itself. And then, I could play by myself. They actually have a new camera view, which is more, centered around a single player, because those games could get pretty, chaotic when you have all kinds of enemies running around the screen, and it's just everybody spamming, their ultimates and their their specials and shit like that, and it can get really dicey out there. But they do have a new camera mode where it kind of centers on your character, and then in that mode you can actually lock on to your opponents. You can always switch out, characters, on the fly, like always. That's also cool. But, unless you're playing online or something like that with a group of people, and even then, you can still play in that camera mode. And I've heard pretty much everybody who's played it, who's got a taste of it so far, saying that they enjoy that camera mode the best right now. Also, there's going to be like numbers now, like in RPGs, where you hit somebody and these numbers start spewing off of their bodies. You know what I mean? I actually enjoy that aesthetic on the game, but the cool thing is you can actually turn that off, so you don't have to play with it like that. You can pretty much turn the everything off, your meters, that displays your powers, your health and all that. You don't have to have all those things. You can keep them. You can keep the screen as clean as you want. You know what I mean? I'm assuming more so for handheld mode, you might want to take that approach. But if you're at home, on a big screen, it probably won't do you as bad as it would on handheld mode. But that is what it is. I digress. But, that's one thing I'm worried about, just the, I guess the amount of energy, the amount of special you can use at one time, but really more than that is the roster. Okay, I'm going to talk about the roster a little bit now. And what I'm going to be bringing up is the characters that I know for a fact are actually going to be in the game. Like I said before, we don't know what the DLC is going to entail. If there is going to be DLC, we don't know if there's going to be extra characters. Now, what I can tell you guys is something I am also proud to announce. I don't know how many, but they did confirm that there will be different skins in the game. I don't know how many, but there will be at least one alternate skin in this game. I'm pretty sure we'll probably get some classics in there. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to that, definitely, because that's one thing I loved about the game is the skins and playing as if I had my Spider-Man, I love the Spider-Man in the symbiote costume. That's my favorite version, always and forever will be. I call it Secret Wars Spider-Man, whatever the nickname I give him. But anyway. The roster, though, man, is what I'm kind of, I'm not really pleased with the roster. I'm just keeping it real. I mean, it's a little weak in my opinion. And that's maybe because a lot of these characters I'm not really too big on, but as compared to some of the other characters that were on the previous versions, man, that's where I'm kind of like, a little bit. Now, let me read the roster to you guys real quick. It's about 27 characters right now. And let me read it real quick. Let me give you a quick rundown. Let's go with, we got Black Panther, we got Black Widow, we got Captain America, we got Captain Marvel, we have Crystal, Daredevil, Deadpool, Doctor Strange, Drax, Falcon, Gamora, Hawkeye, Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Miss Marvel, Nightcrawler, Spider-Gwen, Star-Lord, Storm, Thor, Venom, Wasp, and Wolverine. Those are the characters confirmed right now. Now, you do have two different versions of Spider-Man. Let me add that real quick. You do have Miles Morales in there, and you also have Peter Parker. So there's two separate Spider-Mans in there. Let me also say that. I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know what the suits are going to, look like. I'm anxious to see how that's going to go. But, yeah, we get that. But, yeah, man, that's the roster right now. Now, there could be more characters, you know what I mean? And what they did on the previous games where they had some that were exclusive to certain systems. They had, some that were DLC, you know what I mean? So, but, here's some characters that are missing that were on previous titles. Okay. And you guys tell me how you feel about that. I'm going to name some right now. We got the Fantastic Four. Okay. A character that I used a lot was the Thing. Like I said, I love the Thing, so I used a lot of him. Between the Hulk and the Thing, I'm going with the Thing all already off top. Silver Surfer, Blade, my boy Cyclops, Jean Grey, Magneto, Luke Cage, Doctor Doom, Ghost Rider, Iceman, Sabretooth, Moon Knight, Namor, Vision, Gambit, and Cable, another one of my boys. Yeah, man, they're not in the game. At least they haven't been announced in the game. Now, I'm not a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. Let me just say that. I mean, it's okay, but it's not my favorite franchise by any stretch of the imagination. I love my Avengers. I love my X-Men. Okay, I love like X Factor. I grew up on those, and I just don't understand. How you have Wolverine in here, and you have Nightcrawler, which is another dope character, man, who's emerging. But you don't have Jean Grey, Phoenix. You don't have Cyclops, the leader of the X. I mean, I don't understand that. I really don't. I don't, because that was another character I used a lot in that game. He had some awesome fucking powers, man. His beam was crazy dope. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. I hope and pray that they're DLC, or I hope they're added later or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I mean, I know right now, currently in the MCU right now, he's not even, he's technically dead / before he died, he was like a villain in a sense. But, the power of comic books is that, I named some villains out here, that they had that were actually playable. You know what I mean? So that doesn't really constitute him not being there. I'm just saying that if you're gonna have Wolverine in there and you're gonna have Nightcrawler in there, you know what I mean? Shouldn't you have at least have Cyclops in there? Jean Grey? You know what I mean? I also mentioned Storm was also in the game. So you have Storm in the game as well. So, I mean, come on, man. What's going on here? Why are we missing these important pieces, to the X-Men? I don't understand that. That's a big gripe of mine. Like I said, I'm still going to buy the game. I'm still a Marvel fan. I'm still a fan of this franchise, and it looks great, and I cannot wait to play it. I see me and my son sinking hours and hours into this game, and I see myself just solo playing the fuck out of it. One other side note on the game is that you can actually they have other modes you can play. I mean, where you can buff other characters and upgrade other characters that you just happen to run into later in the game, and you want to start using them. You can get your experience up on them and stuff, and you can do different things of that nature. They're called trials, if I'm not mistaken, where you can go in there and you take out hordes of enemies under a certain amount of time, or you do this or you do that. You know what I mean? I think that'll be dope. Something that once you finish the game, you can have to go through and play and do just for, shits and giggles. You know what I mean? But that roster, man, I mean, no Iceman either. Oh my God. I love me some Iceman too. What? I mean, you're killing me. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Yeah, no Iceman on here. I mean, Blade was definitely a character. Luke Cage. I mean, come on, Gambit. Cable. Damn it. Now, I know Cable wasn't a playable character in all the games, but fuck, man. You know what I mean? He's a viable character now, and I know why Cable's not in the game. I mean, I definitely know why Cable's not in the game now, because he's with, apparently, he's not. That's one of the characters right now I think that they don't own the right to, if I'm not mistaken, because I think, but I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense, because Deadpool's in the game. You know what I mean? Deadpool 2, Cable was in Deadpool 2. So I'm like, if you have Deadpool in the game, why the fuck don't you have Cable in the game? I don't know, man. I just think some of these characters should be in the game, and they're not, at least from what we see right now. Now, like I said, more things may come to the light as we get closer and closer to release, and I'll definitely keep you guys posted, because this is a game on my radar, and I haven't picked up my Nintendo Switch in quite some time. She's getting dusty, and this is the one that's going to dust her off, okay? Because I got a lot of things going on with Mortal Kombat 11. I still got a couple other games on the PS4 that needs addressing, that I'll eventually try to get to. And, I just got a lot going on. So, I have a limited amount of time to game. And, that's one that will definitely be taking up some time. For real. That's going to be a family game. Everybody in my family loves Marvel. My girlfriend loves Marvel. Everybody here pretty much can get with Marvel. My daughter, we've all seen the movies. We've all done the Marvel thing. So I think this will be something to pick up and play for everyone. You know what I mean? But that being said, I hope that they're hiding some characters from us. I hope there's some hidden characters that they haven't told us, and we'll go from there, man, when we get to it. But that's going to do it for the show, guys. That's what I have to say today. Yeah, man, it's it. I want to thank everybody for coming out, downloading the show, streaming the show. All the newcomers, like I stated before earlier on today, welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you come back. I do this every Monday for you guys. A lot of you guys who listen around, who will be listening to this, I want to apologize in advance, because I usually have this uploaded a lot earlier, so you'll probably be getting this a little bit later. But it still is going out. So if you guys want to holler at me, if anybody is interested in sharing anything with me that we talked about today, or you're interested in talking about anything in the future, you can hit me up. You can always instant message your boy on Twitter at Studio MacGyver. You can also hit me on Instagram at Studio MacGyver79. Check out my YouTube channel, guys, Studio MacGyver TV. Plenty of videos, all kinds of different things there. The podcast is there as well. You can listen to it there. Yeah, man. And Discord coming soon. I said it before. I'll say it again. I'm still working on it, but it will be coming soon, guys. Okay. Also, the Patreon will be coming soon, too. So if you guys feeling kind of in a giving mood and you kind of want to, help out your boy, you can also do that very, very soon. And depending on how many Patreons I get, I might even start doing the podcast twice a week instead of once a week. So, yeah, man, it depends on what you guys do. But with that being said, guys, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. You have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.